If you're going on a cruise this year and wondering what to pack and what to bring, this video is for you. I have included over 50 of the most useful, practical, and best-selling cruise essentials on Amazon. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, it has been a while since I've updated a full list of cruise essentials. So in this video, which is part of my series for first-time cruisers, that is what I'm doing. So you're going to find some of the very best cruise essentials that are going to make it easier in your cabin, that are going to make it easier to pack, and even to just enjoy your cruise. Now, if you have watched my previous videos, I do have a few new items that I am using this year, and some new items that I've noticed that a lot of other cruisers are using and recommending as well. So I did make sure to include them in this video. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention two things. Firstly, because I have over 50 items, I'm going to be going pretty quick in this video. I'll show you the items and I'm going to leave the links down below in the description of this video. You're going to find it directly under the title. So you simply tap that title and the description box is going to open up. And if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. All right, let's start off with probably the one item that I would not cruise without. That is a cruise magnet. Now you'll want to get a set of, I would say, at least 6 or so. I'm going to leave a link to my favorite ones down below. But magnet hooks are very practical on a cruise because the walls in cruise cabins are usually metal. That means that you can add extra hooks to hang some of the different items in your cruise cabin. And you're going to see it is absolutely so practical, definitely a cruise essential. Now the trick is you do need a heavy duty hook. So I would say you want to get one that's at least 50 pounds or more. And again, I'm going to leave my favorite linked down below. Now, similar to magnet hooks, we have magnet clips. These are so practical. You can keep any of your paperwork, any of your shore excursion tickets, any of the invitations that you might get in your cruise cabin. Make sure that you do just hang them on the wall and you keep them out of the way. Towel clips. Now, not only are towel clips very cute, but they're very practical on a cruise because it does get quite breezy and you want to be able to hold your towel down as well as be able to find your towel on a sea of deck chairs and, well, towels from the cruise line. In any case, I do have an alternative though to the towel clip, but I still really do like the towel clips. So if you are driving to the cruise port, if you have a lot of room in your luggage, this is something good. However, I do have an alternative, and that is towel bands. So I have been bringing towel bands on many of my recent cruises because I have been flying. And of course, like a lot of people, I'm trying to save a little bit of space in my luggage, and towel bands are awesome. They are very lightweight, they roll up, and they really do the job. Luggage tag holders. Now, this is honestly one of the very best things that you can get for a cruise. When you go on a cruise, you're going to get paper luggage tags. And as you can imagine, paper luggage tags are not the best to just put straight onto your luggage. You need to staple them and tape them. Instead, you can buy reusable luggage tag holders. Now, different cruise lines have different sizes, so I am going to leave a list of the cruise lines and the specific luggage tag holders that go with each one, but they're reusable, super solid, and these are my favorite ones. A non-surge protected power cube. Now, a lot of people like to bring a power strip on a cruise because there are usually not many electric outlets, like sometimes 1 or 2, and no USBs, especially on any older cruise ships. However, you're not allowed to bring a surge protected power strip on a cruise. You have to be really careful with that. But what you can bring is one that is non-surge protected. Now, I like to bring this one because it is a cube. It is very compact. And as you can see, this one has USB outlets and 3 electric outlets, but there's actually a newer version, which I do recommend because it has USB-Cs and USB-As. An over-the-door hanging organizer. Now you can see I have one hanging right here in my office at home. However, many people like to bring their over-the-door hanging organizer on a cruise, put their sunscreen, all of their toiletries, and a lot of other items, even flip-flops, to keep them out of the way in a relatively compact cruise cabin. Now, this would be a good time to mention that even though I am showing you over 50 cruise essentials and accessories, you do not need to bring every single one, so you pick and choose which ones work for you. A lanyard for your cruise key card. Now, I do use this because I was always losing my cruise card. Now, I particularly like this one because it does have a clip. So it's pretty practical. You can just put that into your pocket if you want and not actually use the entire lanyard all the time. And I like it as well because it is retractable. Now, if you're not a fan of the lanyard, it reminds you of work, I have an alternative, and this is a good one. If you're always keeping your phone with you anyway, this cruise card holder holds your card. And as well, my husband, even usually when we leave the ship for the day, he might put his credit card in here as well. It does actually hold quite solidly. A waterproof phone case lanyard. Now you can see this has been well used. It really does work. We have been through Dunn's River Falls. We have been on a lazy river, and yes, this really works to keep your cell phone, your other items, money, etc. dry when you're doing water activities. Now, speaking of water activities, a lot of times people ask, how do you keep your items safe when you go on excursions? Maybe you go to the beach. So this is one of the ways. It's very popular, a very good idea. It also is waterproof, and it is a waterproof pouch. I can tell you it seals up very well. You can keep your cell phone in it. You can keep passports in it. You can keep money in it. You could wear it around your waist. You could wear it crossbody, and it does come in different colors. Reef-friendly sunscreen. Now, many of the different Caribbean islands, Hawaii as well, have a rule or a law that you're not able to use like regular sunscreen, and you do need to have a reef-friendly sunscreen instead. This is one of the ones that I most recommend. Now, speaking of sunscreen, especially if you are heading out to the Caribbean, it is very possible that you might get a little bit too much sun, a little bit of a sunburn. You can buy an after sun relief on the ship or aloe vera. However, it is going to be very expensive. So you are going to want to bring that with you. Now, I have one aloe vera that I absolutely love. It's organic. It is non-sticky. It is absolutely the very best. Unfortunately, it's not sold in Canada. What I will do is I have a little bit of a hack. I order from Amazon.com, and I do have that delivered to my hotel. Now, something we don't talk about enough is our lip care. So this is lip balm with an SPF. Now, I recently bought the Aquaphor because I made a mistake on my recent cruise. I wore lip gloss. I didn't always wear a good lip balm with an SPF, and I came home with my lips being really quite dry, quite chapped. So I've been using this Aquaphor lip repair even after the fact, and it is very effective. AirTags. Now, AirTags are a Bluetooth tracker. You put the AirTag right into your luggage or your carry-on bag, and basically you're going to be able to track that right from your phone. A passport wallet holder. Now, I really like this one because as you are walking through the airport, it's great to keep everything together, or even going into the cruise terminal. So you can keep your boarding passes, you can keep your passports, you can keep even your foreign currency here. Anything else that you really need, you can keep in here. And the nice thing is it also does have a little wristlet, so you can keep that super handy. Now, back to a few things that you're going to need for your cruise cabin. This is poopery, so you do want to bring some sort of bathroom spray. The bathrooms are pretty compact, and in my experience, they're just not that well ventilated. A pop-up hamper. Now, this folds up really, really small, but then you can open it in your cabin and everybody's laundry can go there. It makes it much easier than throwing dirty laundry into luggage that is under the bed, or maybe into a plastic bag in the closet. It just keeps everything in its place. Now, back to the bathroom with some toothbrush holders. You'll want to cover your toothbrushes, and I think even when you're in a hotel room, this is good as well. A hanging toiletry bag. Now, I think this is one of the most popular items in travel on Amazon for good reason. It opens up, it hangs right in your bathroom. You can take this anytime you're traveling anywhere, but it really keeps everything nice and organized, and it can fold up if you don't want to keep it hanging all the time. Now, I do have this new hanging toiletry bag. I just got it a couple of weeks ago. I haven't had a chance to use it yet, but I do want to show you something that is really unique. Now, it still does have all of the hanging function of the other bag, so that is great. But over here, let me find it, right in the back, what it has is a jewelry holder. So especially if you're bringing jewelry that's not super valuable, that doesn't need to go into the safe, but you just want to keep everything nice and organized for your cruise, this is a 2-in-1. A jewelry pouch and another jewelry pouch. So I'm going to show you the differences between both. And again, don't get everything that I am showing you in the video. I am showing you a lot of the different things so that you can see for yourself. Now, this is the one that I have been using for years. I really like it. Actually, let me just show you a little bit closer here. So you really have a lot of room for your items. But recently, a viewer had mentioned that there is a smaller version, and I decided to buy it to see the size of this one. So if you don't think that you need the space of the other, this one is really good. It is flat, so I like that because it's very easy to pack right in your carry-on bag. You can put it right into the zippered pouch, or you can keep it right in your handbag. Now, still on the jewelry boxes, I did get this one recently as well. I wanted to try it out. It's very popular, and this is really good if you have some rings, if you have some earrings, some necklaces, and you just want to keep things organized. But this is pretty small, so I like this one as well. And by the way, something that I do is I just keep all of my jewelry and other items that might be valuable. I just keep that in my safe. I think that that is absolutely secure in your cruise cabin. A lie flat makeup bag. Now, I really like this one. I have been using this the entire year so far, and I found it to be just the right size. Now, by the way, if you're going on a cruise and you are trying to keep organized, I do have the LifeWell Cruised Ultimate Cruise Planner. Now, the LifeWell Cruised Ultimate Cruise Planner is a 47-page downloadable printable cruise planner that you can use to keep organized from the time that you book your cruise all the way through disembarkation. Now it includes cruise planning forms, cruise embarkation day forms, cruise packing lists, cruise shore excursion planning forms, cruise outfit planning forms, budget forms, and more. If you are interested in checking out what is included in the LifeWell Cruised Ultimate Cruise Planner, I'm going to leave all of the information linked down below in case you do want to check it out. Downy Wrinkle Releaser, or you can get another wrinkle release spray. Now, something that you should know is that you're not able to bring any mini steamers or any travel irons on a cruise, and it can be very hard to even be able to do this on your own. So likely you'll have to send your items out for pressing. If you want to avoid that, you can bring Downy Wrinkle Release. Now you can see I have a little silicone cover on this, but I'll show you that in just a minute. But this really does work with the help of a little bit of steam and is absolutely a cruise essential. Now, the other item that I do want to show you are these silicone bottle covers. Now, these are really good to cover your shampoos or any other items that you bring on a cruise. They are so helpful, nothing is going to leak. Now, I am going to get back into the cabin in a couple of minutes, but I did want to talk about something that I don't think anybody really talks about. And there are times that you could need this. So basically an insect spray, a mosquito spray. If you are going to certain Caribbean islands, if you're going to Alaska during the summer, there are places where you are going to need a bug spray. So of course, make sure that you do bring the size that is going to work for you when you are flying, if you are flying carry-on only. But if you are not flying carry-on only, I would say this is even potentially a good size. Now, you'll want to pack something for seasickness prevention or seasickness relief. It always can happen, even though it's really not very frequent and it shouldn't bother you too much. You do always want to be prepared because otherwise you really can regret it. Now, there are a couple of really good options. One of them is Dramamine that is non-drowsy. Personally, I prefer Bonine. I usually do have that, but I just can't find it at the moment. So that is my personal preference. Please let me know if you've been on a cruise or even anywhere else. If you prefer Dramamine to Bonine, let me know your thoughts on that. Now, the other thing that you could use are C-bands, and something I have never tried before because Bonine just really works for me when I do have the occasional time that I feel a little bit of a pull of the ocean. I'll feel like a touch headachy. That's how it sort of starts for me. So I take Bonine right away. but I know that some people use motion ease, and I think that that just goes right like a little dab behind the ear, and people say that that really works well. I'm going to leave all of those options linked down below in the description of this video. A portable clothesline. Now, in particular, if you are cruising with kids or if you're going on a longer cruise, and if you think you might do a little bit of a wash, even hand washing some items, you can bring a portable travel clothesline. Now this is really good because it just has these little hooks at the end, so you can use those magnet hooks that we talked about earlier in the video. You could just hook those right onto your wall and you can have your clothesline. These move, by the way, and the pegs are attached. Reusable straws. Now this might seem a little bit funny, but a lot of people like to bring stainless steel or silicone straws. Now in particular, if you are on a cruise line that has those candy straws, yes, Carnival has candy straws. Now, some people love them, some people do not like them. I'm one of those people who does not like them, but this is absolutely genius. You can see this actually closes up super small, and you can actually fit it into this little holder that can hook right onto your lanyard. A reusable water bottle, but I have to show you this one. It's absolutely genius, especially if you're trying to pack carry-on only. This is a collapsible water bottle, so you just fill it, and again, when you are finished with it, you just fold it up nice and small. Now, if you prefer something that keeps your drink nice and cold, personally, I do prefer that, and I don't mind taking the room up in my luggage, so I use this reusable water bottle. It is thermal, so everything stays nice and cold. Something to note is that on a cruise, you're not able to bring any water bottles, so you do want to have something for your liquid. Now, I almost forgot to mention packing cubes. When it comes to packing for your cruise, packing cubes is a really good idea. It's going to help you to stay organized. You can actually take your packing cubes that have your t-shirts or your shorts or other items folded up, undergarments, etc., and you can put them right into the drawers or on the shelves. Recently, I started to use these compression packing cubes, and I have to say, they are game-changing. Now, when it comes to packing, you're going to want to bring an embarkation day carry-on bag. I'll make a video all about that in a separate video, but I am going to leave 3 different suggestions of great weekender carry-on bags. A foldable backpack. Now this one is very popular. It's very lightweight. You could use it as a backpack, or you could just throw it into your luggage and use it for excursions only. Now, when we went on a Canada-New England cruise, we wanted to bring a lightweight backpack with us that we were able to throw our sweatshirts in if it got a little bit warm during the day, put snacks, put our water bottles, etc., and this was perfect. Now, another essential to remember is make sure that you bring a beach bag if you are going on a Caribbean, Bahamas, Bermuda cruise. Make sure you bring a nice large one, because the towels that you are going to get on the cruise ship, they are going to be quite big. Now, by the way, I've had that beach bag for about 5 years. It's gone through the wash. It is a very good beach bag, but I do have an alternative that is very easy to pack and is also really lightweight. It's just a simple mesh one, but I like the fact that you can put flip-flops, you could put some of your sunscreen, other items right in these outside pockets. A hat clip. Now, why would you want a hat clip? Well, if you are going to bring a sun hat, it is going to be difficult to know where are you going to put your sun hat. It might fly away, it might get squished if you fly with it, or even when you board the cruise. So this hat clip is genius. Just put it right onto your hat, and you can just clip this onto any tote bag or handbag. Water shoes. Now, water shoes are not something that everybody needs for every cruise. However, depending on your itinerary, so do take a look. You may want to bring water shoes. So if you're doing an excursion where you're going to be potentially climbing over rocks, we've done that more than once, or maybe you're even going to one of the cruise line's private islands. Sometimes it's just a little bit, well, the sand is a little bit rocky, I guess, so it could be really handy. They are so comfortable, and this is something that I bring on some cruises. A motion sensor nightlight. Now, there are 2 things in this video that I cannot find at the moment. One of them is my motion sensor nightlight. Now, this is really handy, definitely a cruise essential, especially if you are in an interior cabin, because it gets so dark. in there. The motion sensor nightlight is great if somebody gets up during the night to go to the washroom. Nobody's going to stub their toe. But even if you have a balcony cabin or ocean view, your chances are going to want it to stay quite dark during the night. So this is something very useful. A simple digital alarm clock. Now, in hotel rooms, you know the way you usually have some sort of alarm clock? Well, you just don't have that in most cruise ship cabins. And even though this is a very simple thing, sometimes it can just be a lot easier to be able to know what time it is during the night and to be able to have a reliable, simple alarm. Portable travel hangers. Now, I have to admit, when I first heard of people bringing portable travel hangers, I thought, why would you bring them? Because you can simply ask the cabin attendant and they will bring you some. And I still do that. However, I admit, I ask them, and then usually by the time I get the hangers, it's several hours later. So if you want to unpack quickly, you can get a set of about a dozen of these. They come in different colors. So there's the pastel colors. There's also the very simple black ones. And one thing that I realized, and I have started to use them for, is that when we stay in hotel rooms, I can't even ask them for extra hangers. There's no like cabin attendant in the same way. So it makes it a lot more difficult. And I have found now that I do hang a few items up when I stay in a hotel room, and bringing some travel hangers along with me is very useful. I probably should have mentioned this one a little bit earlier, but a swimsuit cover up. So even if you're not on a Caribbean cruise, there's a good chance that you might go into the hot tub. You're going to want to bring a bathing suit, and it is a good idea to bring a cover up with you. Now I do have this one in white. I also have it, in black. And honestly, these are so flattering. They cover really well. I do have some other bathing suit cover-ups as well, but these are still my favorites. Now, I do have some other cruise clothing behind me, so I will show you some of those in just a few minutes. Now, we don't talk about bringing medication on board a cruise often enough. Now, I am talking about over-the-counter medication, so you want to bring things to prevent a cold or to deal with a cold, coughs, lozenges, that kind of thing. You never know. You can actually get something even when you're on a cruise, and buying any of those remedies could end up being very expensive or even sometimes not available. But I will share with you something I have tried recently. Maybe you already know this, but it is Cold Ease. I started towards the beginning of this year taking this. I bought it when I was in Florida before going on a cruise because I thought, well, if anything could maybe prevent me potentially catching something when I'm on my cruise, I'm going to try it. So I started to take this, and you know what? I have taken it since then. At the first sign of getting a cold, my husband and myself, now we both swear by it. A pillbox organizer. This is my absolute favorite one. It is magnetic. You can keep it right on you or in your cruise cabin. Now, something else that you might want to bring is liquid IV. So anything basically to rehydrate, especially if you do think potentially you might end up having a drink package and maybe overdoing it one day. This can be very useful. A travel makeup mirror. Now, this one is great. It does have great LED lighting. There we go. And has a couple of different colors that you can use. But I really like this. I was staying in a hotel where the lighting was just abysmal, and this was a lifesaver. Now, I almost forgot to talk about formal night. Now, on a cruise, you are going to have a formal night usually, or like an elegant or a chic night. Now, these days are more of a dress code suggestion, so they're not obligatory, but a lot of people do participate, and it's just a nice night to get a little bit more glammed up, if you will. So I have two dresses that I love from Amazon. I really have them in rotation. They're flattering. They're not expensive, so I love them. One of them, and I'll insert a photo for you to see, but is this long black dress, has a nice slit on the side, very flattering and easy to wear. And the other one is a dress that I have found recently. So this is an off the shoulder dress. Now, one of the things that I really like about these dresses is you do not need to iron them. They're very easy to pack, and then you just take them out, hang them, and they will be wrinkle free. Binoculars. Now, this is not something for everybody, but if you do want to watch the ocean, see if you can find some marine life, you will appreciate having some binoculars to be able to use while you're on your balcony. Now, I have to say though, if you are on an Alaska cruise, that is definitely a must-have. I will leave a packing list for Alaska, that is where you might be going next. An electronics organizer bag. I had to just ask my husband for this because he's the one who takes care of this. But basically, all of the wires, all of the chargers, all of the portable chargers, you know what I mean, all of the adapters, everything can go right in here. A travel adapter. Now, in particular, the only time that you are going to need a travel adapter like this is when you're traveling internationally. Like, for example, if you were going to Europe on a cruise, you're going to need it for the hotels. However, on the ship, you are going to be just fine. But I am going to share with you a little travel hack that you can use. If you have a travel adapter already, or even if you are on a Mediterranean cruise, you could use this. You could plug it into that European outlet in your cruise ship cabin, and then what you will have is you will have an additional plug. Portable chargers. Nobody goes anywhere without their portable chargers these days. I have two that I use and I suggest. I just think that they're the best for me. So one of them is the iWalk. I just find that this is really convenient. I use this anywhere because I can charge my phone by just plugging this right at the bottom and using the phone at the same time. However, this charges, well, basically it gives you one charge of your phone. However, this Inuit charger is like the holy grail of portable chargers. Even sometimes what I do is I'll charge my phone overnight right with this charger. It will charge fully 2 phones on this one charge. A portable lockbox safe. Now, a lot of people ask me, how do I keep my items safe when I'm at the beach or even on a cruise? Now, I did mention earlier, I usually just use that waterproof waist pouch. I think that it's very effective, but some people want a little bit more. This is really a great item that gets great reviews. Now, the other item, it might be a little bit old school, but it really does work. In particular, if you are going somewhere where you're worried about pickpockets potentially, then I don't think that anything is better than a money and passport belt. Crew thank you cards. Nothing says thank you to a crew member like a nice additional cash tip and a handwritten note. Now, I will leave those dresses as well as the dress that I am wearing now. I love this one, and a couple of others that people do ask me about quite a lot. I will leave that linked down below in the description of the video. And I will leave this men's shirt. A lot of people do ask me about this. Frank did wear it to a private island. It is so comfortable, easy to wear, and it does come in different patterns. And as well, I will leave all of the information about the LifeWell Cruise Ultimate Cruise Planner. Now, I would love to hear from you. What are some of the items that you think are the most essential for a cruise? What are some of your favorites? Please let me know down in the comments below. Now, I am going to share that playlist for new cruisers next. And I will include that Alaska packing video in case that might be where you are going. Now, I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now and happy cruising.